Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I am really excited for 2015. 2014 was a great year in business, and I am looking forward to the things that's going to happen in 2015. I have some ideas that I want to share with you guys, but that will come later. But today I want to start the year off. Since everybody has made resolutions and we all have our New Year's resolutions and things that we want to check off our list this year, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was how to develop your ideas. And one of the biggest rules I have in business is that when you have a brand new idea, you need to keep your mouth shut. You need to keep quiet about the idea for a lot of reasons. Because what I've found is that ideas as they are, they die premature death at the very early stages. And this is because when we have something that we come up with or we have a new idea, we are very excited to share it with our friends, our family. We want them to see this great thing that we've come up with or this great business idea that we're going to work on. But I'm here to tell you that that is a very dangerous thing to do, because that is when ideas die, premature death. Because when you take your new idea and you go to your friends and tell them, most of the time you're not ready to answer or address the objections that they are naturally going to raise. So what happens is that we are very excited. We have this idea that we dreamed up, or we have this idea that we came up with. We tell our friends or family, and then they ask all these questions, and then we are not ready to answer those questions. And most of the time, we get discouraged, or we begin to believe their objections or their negativity or whatever they're asking you to address about the problem or the doubts that they have. Because we're not ready to address those doubts, we give up because we were excited when we started. And then when we realize that there are all these problems associated with the business we're trying to start, we give up. And that's why I'm saying that when you have a new idea, you need to shut up. What you need to do is that you need to then go and answer 3 questions about this idea. Before you go talk to anybody, before you go talk to your friends, your family, your neighbor, whatever, you need to answer 3 questions about the idea before you're ready to go and tell people about it. And the first one is that, is there a market for my product? And then you need to answer the next question, which is, how are you going to make this happen? You know, what is it going to take to get this business off the ground? And the third question you need to answer is that, how are you going to be different from the competition or whatever else is on the market? So for example, let's say that you came up with this idea of producing sugar-free jelly. You know, we all go to the grocery store to buy jelly, and all the jelly on the counter has sugar in it. And so let's say you came up with this brilliant idea that you want to produce sugar-free jelly. And you go and tell your friends, and then they start blasting you with questions. How are you going to produce jelly? You know, where are you? How are you going to be better than what is already out there? You know, there are big companies that are producing jelly. They're going to eat your lunch. You know, they're going to give you all these questions. But if you go out there and do your research, let's say that you identify the people who are going to be your customers. So you find out that people who are health conscious, people who want to reduce their sugar intake for whatever reason, or people who just want to live a healthy lifestyle, they are the people who will buy a sugar-free jelly. So you go and talk to about 100 of them. And if you talk to them and you realize that, hey, 70 or 80 of them say they'll buy your product, then you have confidence because you know that there's a market for your product, because you've done some research. Second, you have to figure out how you're going to make this happen, you know. And people are probably going to tell you that you need to buy all this big equipment and these machines and everything to produce your jelly. And then through your research, you may have found that you could actually do it in the kitchen, or you could get somebody's restaurant where they're not using it during the peak season, or they open on Sundays, and you can take their kitchen over and produce your jelly during Sundays. And so you've answered the second question, is how you're going to make it. And then the third question is, how are you going to be different? Well, you're not going to have sugar in it. That's a differentiation. But maybe you're going to add some different flavors and you're going to do different things with it. So you would have answered those 3 questions of who is going to be your market? Is there a market for the product? Are people going to want to buy the product? How are you going to make it? And how are you going to be different? And once you answer these questions, you are now equipped and you have the confidence to then go out and share this idea. Because it's good to share ideas, but you have to be ready to share, because you have to be ready to answer the objections and address the concerns and the doubt and the objections that people are going to bring. But once you've done your research, you have some confidence, you're not going to go out there and address every problem people are going to ask you. But you would have addressed the most important ones, which is there a market for my product? Who is going to buy my product? How am I going to make it? How am I going to be different? So when you go out there and you're talking to your friends and they start asking you all these questions, you will have the confidence to be able to address all the issues that they bring up. And that will provide them confidence and comfort that you know what you're talking about. And so then you will turn their negative objection and actually bring them on board and bring them to your side so that they can start brainstorming with you and helping you develop the idea further past the initial research stage so that you can develop the business. So essentially, what I'm saying is that new ideas die at their formative stage because the entrepreneurs are very quick and excited and too prone to oversharing. So at that stage, they are not ready to answer the objections that are going to come, and most of the time people get discouraged and give up on the idea. And I don't want that to happen to you. So all I'm saying is you need to do your research. You need to be equipped with some information about what you're trying to do before you go out there and share your ideas, so that you can turn people who are naturally going to object because they love you. I mean, your friends are going to object, your family is going to object, not because they don't like you, it's because they want to protect you. They feel like business is a very risky thing to do. They don't want you to throw your future away. They don't want you to go throw your money away and do something that will fail. So naturally, they're going to come up with objections, or they're going to want to resist. But if you go to them with a very well thought out plan, backed by research, you can convert them and bring them to your side, and then they can then help you flash the idea out, or at least they can be a positive influence or a positive contributor rather than a negative or an objector to your idea. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you find the video useful, and tune in for our next video.